Now that you're growing a real company and it's not just a little baby idea, but actually a real company that is going to move into the phases where you're going to start scaling and growing, you need to really start having meetings on what your growth and your innovation look like and how you're going to bring new value to the market as you keep growing. So, number one is, what are our short term and long term goals? If you guys don't have established short term and long term goals for your company, it's a good time to get out a piece of paper and start writing them down. It's a good thing to do this with your team and to let them know and to actually get feedback from them to make sure that you aren't coming up with unrealistic expectations of them, and also leaning on them and saying, hey, let's set some goals that are actually going to help us to stretch, that we're going to have to think new thoughts and get smarter and work harder to actually attain these. And it helps them bring more energy into the workspace and also greater fulfillment and a lot of work. So, number one, what are your short term and long term goals? For me, short term is I do this 6 months, month, and week. Some people like to do a year. For me, long term is 5 to 10 year. You're looking a little bit further down the line. It's usually when I'm going to sell the company and what steps I need to take to get there. Number two is, what is our growth strategy? This basically is just leaning into everything you do to grow. Is it hiring? Is it your marketing? Is it your sales? Is it, what are you doing in your company to grow, to create greater capacities, to create greater momentum, to create greater connections, more key partners, more better strategies, whatever it is? What is your growth strategy? How do we stay innovative and ahead of our competition? This is a question that you should be asking on a very regular basis, and it also points out that you and your team are going to need to identify and actually take note of your competition. You need to know who you're dealing with, you need to know what they're up to, you need to know how they do what they do so that you can actually strategically stay ahead of them and also go to battle where you do compete. Number four is potential risks and how you will address them. Now, this is humongous because amateur teams are going to just expect that everything is going to go right. Now, real experienced teams are going to know you're going to be dealing with some serious risks. If you're going into competition, if you're going into battle against other companies, well, when you make these different moves in your growth strategy and you start accomplishing shorter and long-term goals, what other risks are you going to be partaking in? What other things are going to come at your company that you need to be ready to address when they get there?